Hi, I'm Gigi Engel, and welcome to Ask Gigi. Today we have a very interesting reader question that I think could really benefit from some internet sex therapy. So I was asked, what are you to do if you and your partner have very different sex drives and there's a big libido disparity? Now, this is actually the most common thing that couples present with at couples therapy. It's the most common thing that people will come with and is the main reason why couples come and actually want to work with a professional. So let's have a little chat about it. Okay, so what causes libido disparity? First of all, there is basically no chance that a couple is going to have the same libido for the entirety of their relationship. It's just not realistic. Libidos ebb and flow throughout our lives. You may want sex more at one point in your life. You may want it less in other points. Libido can be impacted by your cycle, different times in your life, different impacts at work and at home, like different stresses. And so it's really, really common to have dips and highs in libido. And over time, when you're with your partner at first, you go through what's called a limerence stage, which is where your brain is really high on all of these feel-good chemicals. You can't get enough of each other. It's that really intense new relationship energy. And then over time, it's not that you stop caring for your partner or you stop being attracted to them, but your brain chemicals settle back to their normal baseline state of where they would normally be once this high of the new relationship has ebbed off. And I think that a lot of couples, they have trouble reckoning with that reality because they're like, why don't I want my partner as much as I did before? Does it mean that I don't love them anymore? Do I not find them sexy? And that's just not true. It's just that we're at a different state. We need to be able to relate to each other sexually in this new, not really new, but this sort of normal balanced state. So the way that a lot of techniques that I give couples when they have different libidos and want to increase their sexual contact is to do what Dr. Gurney, who wrote Mind the Gap, calls building sexual currency. This is where you build intimacy and sexual energy together in non-sexual ways, because when one partner has a lower libido than the other, they can resist all forms of intimate touch because they're afraid that if they kiss their partner or let them hug them, that this will pressure them into having sex. But if you can take sex off the table from your partnership for a little bit and instead try to build that sexual currency with each other and try to go on dates and try to kiss more and have more intimacy, it starts to rebuild some of that spark. So that's one thing. Another thing is to do what Dr. Emily Negoski, who wrote Come As You Are, is to identify your brakes and your accelerators. So the way that our desire works is that we have a set of brakes and we have a set of accelerators. Brakes are the things that impede sexual libido and cause us to not want sex and to stop the sexual cycle in its tracks. Accelerators are the things that really help us push forward, the things that get us going, the things that turn us on. So being able to identify what your brakes and accelerators are is really crucial to figuring out how to elevate your sexual life so that you're more aligned with your partner. Breaks may include stress. They may include a list of things you have to do around the house. Maybe the washing hasn't been done, or maybe you're just really stressed out with something that's happening at work, or there's a lot of noise happening in the background, and this can make you not feel sexual. So being able to eliminate those things, or maybe like your partner does the dishes tonight so that you can feel more sexually present, can be really helpful. Accelerators might be things like pornography. They might be fantasy. It might be having the room smell nice with a nice candle, having the lights be correct, feeling warm and comfortable. Just basically anything that helps you feel relaxed so that you can be more present. So when I'm working with couples, I do try to enhance these things and bring awareness to them, because we often cater to the partner who has lower libido. Like the partner with the higher libido is seen as being like, oh, they have to make concessions to the person with lower libidos desire levels, because if you don't want to have sex, you shouldn't have to. And of course you shouldn't have to have sex, of course, but that can be quite distressing to have that kind of mindset. And really when it comes to couples, it's about building the lower libido partners sexual currency and their accelerators so that they can be more comfortable and want sex more, while also teaching the person who has higher libido how to satisfy their own needs when partnered sex may not be on the table. And a way that you can do this is through mutual masturbation is one technique that I really like. This is where one partner masturbates while the lower libido partner either watches or participates, maybe talks dirty to them. And that way you get to engage with each other sexually without having to put all this pressure on sex. The last thing that I want to cover is our sexual hierarchy. A lot of couples have this idea, and honestly all of us do because #purity culture, that intercourse is the only kind of sex that there is. And even if it's not the only kind of sex that there is in your repertoire, maybe you think that intercourse is like the only thing that counts, or it's like the most legit form of sex essentially. And being able to move away from this ideology that intercourse is the only kind of valid sex is so crucial to being able to have more sex and a more satisfying sex life. So instead of calling things like oral sex, hand sex, sex with toys, and sex with yourself or masturbation, if we can move that stuff away from the term foreplay and start to think of it as more play, we can have a lot more sexual interactions with our partner because we're not putting all this pressure on intercourse and penetration. So I hope this answered your question. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want some more internet sex therapy from your internet sex therapist, Gigi Engel. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.